Talk nerdy to me. Talk nerdy to me. Talk nerdy to me.
Oh yeah, get nerdy with us right here. It is Geek Public Radio right here on geekpublicradio.com. And you know what? It's been a while, but we are live. Yeah, that's it. I forgot to hit a switch.
Now we're live.
Well, no, we were live.
You were live. I wasn't live.
We just couldn't hear it.
Oh.
I forgot to flip the switch that said, hey, have headphones. That was it. But yes, of course it wouldn't be a live show without me going, flip the switch.
It doesn't help that I just broke into the Knob Creek either.
Hey, you know what? As long as you're drinking and I'm drinking and everybody out there should be drinking, it's after 5 o'clock. Most places you are. Okay, it might not be if you're listening in California or whatever. It may be way after if you're one of the 20% of our listeners that actually come from Australia.
20%.
Yeah. So, you know, they may be like, you're drinking off early.
No, it's never too early. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Well, it's 6 o'clock here.
Exactly. So we're an hour behind schedule.
There you go. That is the way. That is the correct way to look at it, sir.
I'm trying.
So, we haven't. This is our first show for March, I do believe. That we actually like. I don't think. Did we get one in? Or just a podcast wise?
Yeah, I think podcast wise, I think we've got one in March, but this is our first ever live show, so God only knows what's going to happen here. Because there's no way for you to edit me down now.
As soon as you start talking, I can go donk, like I did the other night.
Yeah. Knowing that, I will just increase in volume.
No more mic. Oh, look at that. We're playing songs. And it'll all be edited in post.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. Apparently. I fix it in post. God, I hate that saying. On a film set, if somebody says, how we got, do you got everything you need? Well, we'll just fix it in post.
That equates to, well, we screwed it all up, but you can fix that later, right?
Right, yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, you got that. Like, I'd love to spend the next, 37 days doing nothing but rotoscoping out that one flag in the background that wasn't supposed to be there. Thanks.
I don't know what rotoscoping is, but it sounds like it could either be really hot or really not.
Well, I'll give you an idea of what rotoscoping is. You go frame by frame.
You've already lost me, because I'm like, you know what, that's too much work, because you just said frame by frame.
Right. Well, you got to figure, like, anything you want the filmic effect, you shoot at 24 frames per second. So for every second, there's 24 frames. And you have to go, say you shot a 30-second scene.
Yeah.
So for 30 seconds, you have 24 frames per second.
Okay.
720 frames for that one shot. Now watch. Somebody was like, no, your math is all wrong.
I've calculated enough of the map to know I'd be like, no, we're not going to rotoscope. Crap, you're going to do it right the first time.
Yeah, well. Yeah. There are shortcuts to make it faster, but none of them, they actually, like, require you to go back through and make adjustments and whatnot. They are handy. They shave time off. But it's still, I would prefer not to rotoscope at all.
Yeah, my shortcut would be, you know what, I'll be the sound guy.
And you will be this Saturday.
Okay.
You'll be the boom holder. You'll hold the boom mic.
Okay.
And since we're running lapel mics, all you need to do is pick up the background ambient.
So I hold the big fuzzy cone looking thing?
Yeah, you sit there like this.
That looks exhausting.
Well, because you don't have to do anything else, like actually get it in there and
okay.
you literally just kind of prop it up and hold it and get the ambient sounds while we sit there and talk.
Oh, well, I can hold the wall up. That's no problem.
Because I'm gonna mix that in with the lapel mics, so as we talk, that will be picked up clearly.
I'm just picking up dogs barking in the background and neighbors fighting across the street. And,
sometimes that's what
trucks going by,
and it makes me go, God, dang it! But
okay,
that has been known to happen.
Yeah.
So anything new so far?
Moved into the station. I mean, there's that. I don't think I get any more on staff now than, unless it was you.
Living right next to,
Literally, 2 doors down from the broadcast room.
Yeah, well, that just means that there's 2 of us now that can, run to, when anything catches fire. Which has been known to happen.
On occasion.
I think, what was it, last night we were like, and I was bowling and you were just hanging out with us. And I flip up the thing. I was like, "Oh, by the way, apparently we're running off the
apparently
server.
The station's down.
this just server running audio. We're not actually broadcasting any from the station. It's just all server. Still playing music, still playing good music with our commercials, the whole 9 yards.
But not playing what we told it to play. Just
right.
Playing from the backup generator.
Yeah. I was like, well, I guess you know what." Eh.
Could have been worse.
Could have been worse. Could have got a gold dragon for a mount.
Oh, God, here we go. Oh, man.
A teenage gold dragon.
Oh, no, it just looks like a teenager. It's still creepy when you're like, mount the 13-year-old. Oh, my God.
I do that on purpose.
I know it. Doesn't matter how many hundreds of years old the dragon is. If it looks like a 13-year-old girl, for all intents and purposes, it is a 13-year-old girl. And that was my quest reward. That was my mount.
Well, no. Tell everybody what you pushed for, and what you told me the whole time we were leading up to you getting ready for your campaign, or for your mount quest.
Oh, that I wanted to ride a dragon. Oh, you're
keep
talking
going,
about you want the whole.
Keep telling because you did it multiple.
Oh
occasions.
no, I'd done this to myself. I know it. I was like, I think it'd be a really cool idea. Not really thinking about it in the long term. The bigger picture, what it looked like. But it'd be kind of neat that your mount, for lack of a better way to put it. You get this dragon it's a juvenile dragon because he's not going to give you an ancient dragon or anything really 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 cool, so you got to take what you can get, and so it'd be like a juvenile dragon, but looks like a teenage girl. So you have that almost like a father-daughter bickering back and forth. Okay, well now what happens when the teenage dragon starts to date? Now I got to fight a dragon that wants to date her. I just thought it was kind of a neat concept and didn't realize what I was getting myself into, and now I do.
Yeah, well, guess what he got?
Exactly what I asked for, which I never thought would happen.
Well, no, you dug yourself a big enough hole.
Oh, God, yes, I did.
Now, as soon as I realized that's more than he wanted.
Yeah.
He's going to
As soon as you realized that it was past the line, that I hadn't realized all the implications, you're like, that's a great idea. Let's do that.
The whole time I was telling him, hey, yeah, you know what? I'm going to give you a seahorse.
Yeah, I was going to get like a crab to ride around on.
And I kept telling him this. And then, I placed his quest right there on the shore of the inlet, like a small hidden bay. That's having, water, water demon or water ghost issues or whatever.
Here comes my riding trout.
So you have to go down under this thing and oh, look, there's water with these seahorses and starfish and crabs and this 14-year-old girl. And he still didn't catch it, when I said that. And he was like, yeah, okay. And when it dawned on him, his face was priceless. He's like,
oh, God, what have I done?
Really? Everybody was like, yeah, we knew it was coming, but everybody knew but you.
And everybody at that table were all well, I can't say it because we're live. You could edit it out in post. If I said it. I have choice descriptions for everybody at that table but me at that point.
They laughed heartily.
Yeah.
But, how have you come? How has it been since you started? Because we talked a little bit about it before. Like now that you've played a couple games.
Yeah, it's been all right. I mean, it's different. You got to treat. It's not one of those things where it's like, well, you're my mount. You do what I say. Okay, it's still a dragon. First off, and you have to treat it like another member of the party. And you have to have loyalty
one that
to
doesn't
it.
really care.
Right? Yeah. No, she's totally aloof, but it's different. I mean, it's definitely outside my comfort zone. Definitely outside the comfort zone. Because I mean, at the time I thought, well, it'd be kind of neat to have the whole like bickering back and forth. Because I had, my wife or my oldest daughter, I had pictured in my head, like they would be the like what kind of bickering back and forth like you do with family or what have you. And
that's
thought,
what you got.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I thought too, like, well, if we done something like this, then they want to come over for a game, then they got something they can do, and they don't have to keep track of all the numbers and everything. They can just pretty much argue with me like we were at home, and it'd be be fine. But nobody ever wanted to do that, so I wind up arguing with you all night. So.
And you act like that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, you already know what you're going to do before I know what you're going to do, so.
Well, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
No, sometimes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of what I do depends on what you guys do.
Well, I tell you, and last game, all 5 people that showed up for it, we did learn that one of the things that I'm gonna keep track of is when somebody opens their mouth and gives suggestions. Well, what about it? Could be this, it could be that. Shut up, because he doesn't. We give him more ideas than he has.
Hey, if I have a good idea and I'm going with it, and you guys have a better idea,
I'm gonna hit somebody in the head with a hammer.
I'm gonna go with the better idea.
What was it? Somebody said, "Well, does it have this?" Yeah, does it have this? And you kind of perked up, and I'm like, "Well, it didn't before, but it does now." Shut your damn mouth.
See, I don't know how many times you guys before you guys caught on,
Yeah.
Somebody starts, oh, what did you say and the other? And like, oh, well, it's this, that, and the other. Like, see, I told you it was going to be that,
He said something that was, I mean, he was right, but it was like, after having made the comment, hey, don't say nothing. He doesn't think, he just says something. I just turn to look at him, just staring at him. I'm like, shut up. And he looks over at me, and he's like, oh, and he realizes what he done. Oh, man. I'm like, yeah, now this next encounter is on you.
Ride the lightning.
Yeah.
Well, stuff like that happens. What's funny is, most game masters, if you're listening, back me up on this, most game masters have a set plan, and, what was the famous saying, plans, last up until the first encounter with the enemy?
I mean, yeah. Even the best laid plans disappear, upon the first encounter.
So, it's like I can map everything out all I want, and then you guys go burn the city down.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, but you know what? It's more fun like that, to be honest with you, because I've actually sat down before and mapped out, okay, if players done this or done that, every individual thing that I could think of, no matter how remotely. I mean,
and they still surprise you.
Well, yeah, they will still surprise you, but even if you've got everything locked down, that really hamstrings your storytelling to the point where you kind of, it sucks the fun right out of it. So it's just better. So
what do you think about my style of play when I literally, I may plan out the objectives and whatnot, and some of the bad guys, but literally just sit down, pull out maps, go this map, boom, boom. Here's what we're doing.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, you give us enough rope, we can hang ourselves with it, and we're more than happy to stick our necks in the noose. So, I mean,
because I on that DM group that you invited
Yeah.
me to.
Yeah.
Which has
Having
been,
second thoughts about that already.
which is
let me
like
tell
a
you.
ton of fodder for me. And not nothing big. It's just a little
No,
thing.
it's little stuff. And as soon as we found all that copper, I was like, I know where he got that from. God.
They walked into a dungeon, defeated everything that they needed to, got the weapon that they were looking for to bring back, and he's not going to be able to wield.
Yeah.
Because it's a legacy weapon, he'll have to actually go through and do the whole rituals for to unlock the whole power.
Well, I don't have to worry about that with mine because I broke that son of a bitch.
Right in the, like, bam! First thing you hit just shattered it. Well, that's what happens when you hit an immovable object with a natural 20.
Jim and Eddie showed up, so my rolling went right down the toilet.
Hey, you rolled a natural 20.
Yeah, I did.
And
what,
max damage.
And what'd it do for me?
It
Screwed me in the long run.
It was, like I said, the dice roll said he was either going to go channel all of that into you.
Well, yeah,
like,
I would have rather
vibrating.
it gone into the weapon because having my arm come apart like that, the head of that hammer did. No.
You smoked that thing, did like 50 points of damage, and I was like, okay, if it would have been, transferred into you, everybody's hit a metal baseball bat on something hard and felt it. Like that would have just vibrated into you and it would have done 100 points.
Yeah.
Like, can you handle that? No.
No. Not at all.
What'd you do? I hit the wall of this magic area and I died. The hammer is still pristine though.
And you learn two things in something like that. One, you learn don't trust Topher's magic weapons that he gives you. And because they're not well made, and the other thing you learn is stay the hell out of Ravenloft.
It wasn't Ravenloft. As much as you guys, the only reason that got brought up, one, is because I pulled that module out and went, no, I'm gonna put that back. And people saw it, and it had a werewolf in it.
Yeah. Like
it
I said,
was an extra
Ravenloft.
planar area that only existed. That
in
bubble.
that pocket dimension.
Yeah, it was just that little bubble you guys stepped through.
So it was Ravenloft light.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
So it was Ravenloft.
I could have brought out Strahd or.
Well, you said you were gonna, and
or the other guy.
I mean, I'm not
My
complaining
brain is
that you didn't.
completely. You guys are not high enough level to deal with that.
No,
level of.
I'm not high enough
chicanery.
level to deal with the dang stone piece that I hit with a hammer.
You were trying to break down a barrier.
My rescue party, my rescue.
You
plan,
literally said, "I'm going to hit that thing." Hit that stone, and that stone, it was like the barrier of what was holding back, creating this pocket. So you're hitting the actual essence of the pocket, parallel world that you guys were in.
I went with the best information I had at the time.
It was like, I'm going to crumble this whole thing. I was like, okay, here we go. What happened to Thor when he destroyed fell out of the Rainbow Bridge?
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
The Bifrost.
yeah. I'm like, well, you remember when he ended up in? Well, you haven't seen it yet. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I will make you watch it, but I won't spoil it for you.
I'd be happy to watch Ragnarok. I saw Homecoming. I just haven't seen Ragnarok yet. I got to see that in Black Panther, and then I'll have them all caught up for Infinity War. Or is it Infinity War? The end of next month, 27th, I think it is.
Yeah,
because they didn't want it coming out on May 4th. Did you hear that? It was supposed to be released on May 4th.
What else comes out on May 4th?
Nothing comes out on May 4th.
Then why doesn't it? Why didn't they want it to come out on May 4th?
Because May the 4th be with you.
Ah.
And Disney owns all that stuff now, so they don't want to.
They don't want to tread on the.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to get in their own way.
I was like, May the 4th. That would be a good day to put a Star Wars movie out.
Yeah, I don't know when the Solo one's coming out.
Probably around Christmas. And that's where they like to drop stuff. Like Disney loves to put.
I don't know. I think they got some Pixar stuff coming out around Christmas. I'm not sure.
Well, let's look. I have this wonderful thing called the internet.
Yeah. But I saw Stan Lee was in the hospital, and he's out of the hospital again now, so he's doing okay, except for, supposedly, according to Facebook, people are bleeding him dry. As far as money-wise, but, at least he's He's doing okay. Kevin Smith had been in and out of the hospital once. Said he just wants to live long enough to see Infinity War. I would caution him to say that he needs to see both of them and not just the first one, or he'll only be
by the way, and Solo comes out May 25th.
Oh well, see, there you go, on Sir Dammit's birthday, Wiener Knight himself.
And then for Christmas, episode 9.
Okay.
Of next year. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, yeah, because they just released one this year. And I guess it comes out on video, or I would say VHS or whatever. It's coming out on video soon, if it's not already out on digital.
Apparently, they're talking about a May 2020 for a standalone Kenobi movie.
Yeah, they've been talking about that. And 9 is supposed to be the end of the Skywalker line too, I believe. Or as far as the Skywalker story.
Let's hope, because I have been quoted on several occasions. He was a whiny bitch.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Tashi station.
Well, if it's any indication, we had this discussion the other day that Kylo Ren
takes after that side of the family.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my problems with the new series is that they don't have a bad guy that's worth anything. I mean, at least when Anakin Skywalker, he was a big whiny complaining, but he became Darth Vader, which was like the epitome of a badass villain.
What was sad is
Kylo Ren will never be that. You've got stormtroopers that walk down the hall, see him throwing a tantrum, just turn around and walk the other way because he's having a little.
We have a word for it, but it's derogatory.
Yeah, and it almost came out. It almost came out. I had to I caught myself, or we'd have somebody knocking on the door right now. But so I watch it because it's Star Wars, but this is probably toward not the end of my fandom, but probably the end of me following it with any regularity. I will watch Solo because it's about my favorite character. Mm-hmm. I'll watch Kenobi because it's Kenobi's. If they do it right and they get all the social justice warrior crap out of it, then I'll watch it. But as far as like the dedicated, they got to do something worth watching. I mean, I can't get over them killing Han, and then what I hear about the last one. I still haven't seen it yet. I guess I'm a horrible Star Wars fan, and I should turn in my card, and I'm almost okay with that. Honestly.
No, it's what I like I said, I've gone on the thing. There's two camps, just like with every Star Wars movie out there. There's people who love it. There's people who hate it.
Yeah. Well, that's just every movie in general, really.
And they'll go see it, either to go see it and be like, "Oh, I love that movie. That's awesome." Yada yada yada. Or they'll go see it just so they can flame it on the internet.
Yeah, because they don't have anything better to do.
And it's just like, okay, so I am glad that you took the time to write your retarded opinion.
Yeah.
But
I'm becoming a big believer in the fact that Spaceballs is the better series now, and it only had one movie and it was awesome.
And a cartoon.
Yeah, did they have a cartoon? Yeah. I never saw the cartoon.
Spaceballs the cartoon.
Well, of course they had a flamethrower. Why not have a cartoon?
So did Elon Musk.
Well, is it out yet? Because I want one.
No, he sold out. Like it was like boom, it went gone.
Well, I knew they were pre-ordering, but
yeah, and they sold out.
They sold out of pre-orders. He'll make more. He should make more.
It was like a limited edition.
The man
500
shot
or whatever.
The man could have. Well, I don't want to get too like conspiracy because we're not that show. but he shot a car into space. I mean, that's the kind of shit we do. I mean, I'm gonna put a roadster in orbit. Why? Why not?
Because I can.
Yeah, because I can. I'm gonna make an affordable family flamethrower. Why? Because
but he did it legally. It's no different than. It's the same technology that goes into those things that heat up asphalt.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because that's about how far you can't go more than 10 feet without having an FFA.
Yep.
So he went, we'll just shrink that down and give it a whole high-tech looking feel. And
Yeah, make it look like a blaster from...
yeah, now you can have your own flamethrower, even though all it is a flaming propane distributor.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a ditch burner.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, you get some pressurized gasoline behind that or some...
And it only goes like, almost just up to the limit.
Yeah.
So it looks cool. You're like, oh God, yeah, I have a flamethrower.
Kill it with fire before it lays eggs.
There we go. Hey, we need to find a couple of them and do our own version of Aliens.
Couple flamethrowers?
Mm-hmm.
I can build you a napalm thrower. I'll call Bill real quick.
Yeah.
We'll get some.
That's Bill's favorite comment from the man cave. That's Bill's favorite comment. Buy one. Shit.
I'll build you one.
I'll build you one.
We just need some hose. I gotta hit the hardware store and we'll. You got a bug sprayer in the garage?
Yes, I do.
Not for long. It'll still take care of the bugs and anything else.
And everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of those things. I don't know. I'm trying to segue out of flamethrowers and I can't.
When you get the flamethrower, there's not much else you can. I mean,
Like,
there's all kinds of wrong areas I can segue into with a flamethrower, but bringing it back out of the black and bringing it like air friendly and society friendly is kind of hard to do. So it's this is a section where you would be editing me out.
Hey, you know what? This is a great time. Let's segue into a commercial. We'll be back after
we're doing
these
commercials?
messages.
We just can't keep going, huh?
No, we'll be back after these messages right here on Geek Public Radio.
You just need to reset because we can't pull out of a flamethrower.
We'll be back.
We're coming back with napalm.
Hey, guess what? We're back. This is Geek Public Radio on geekpublicradio.com. And we are here live for the first time in a long time.
I think the first time since I've been in on it.
Yeah, we used to do the live show and then just podcast afterward. And then it turned into just doing the podcast.
Yeah.
When the radio station the first station went its own separate way, and now we're building.
Because we've been known as, Revel Radio, Pipe Creek Radio, all kinds of stuff. And
Geek Public Radio started it, and then we were picked up by Revel Radio.
Yeah.
Absorbed, so to speak. And it made a show, and we did that for a little bit, and then we got slid off to the back burner and disappeared for a while, and then we came back, and we were doing it as the show again, full force, and podcasting it and whatnot, and then that station went away.
Yeah.
As happens with internet radio on occasion.
So now we are still Geek Public Radio, but we are also pushing not quite rebranding of the fact that we are a small part of the overall Geek Public network.
No, we have decided to change in the aspect of rather than being consumed by the Borg, we are the Borg.
Oh, well, yeah.
We now consume everything else ourselves.
So
you know what? We dealt with the bad mistakes of other people. Other people's choices. So it's our show now.
Yeah, even as early or even as late as just Friday. Deal with the bad mistake. But anyway, no, we're now you were a little afraid. Now don't be scared because I've got.
Oh, I'm scared. I live scared.
Don't be scared because you didn't see a way to come back from flamethrowers. And I have a way to come back from flamethrowers now. You said the Borg. And, one of the ways you can kill the Borg is, and you just brought this up. This is a totally different way that I had to come back from it. But, you kill it with fire. Just kill it with fire.
Okay.
But, I mean, set it on fire. It'll, everything's purified by fire, right?
Well, yeah.
I mean, that
was
was
burn this episode.
That was the premise of the Salem witch trials, right? Purify everything by fire.
And like I said, there was a reason for me to be afraid.
No, see, you said I couldn't talk about Zuckerberg and Facebook and politics and
so you went with
poisoning kids or anything. So.
Witch trials.
So I went witch trials. I went medieval. But no, if I was to use the original way back I had from it, I would have equated, getting one of Elon Musk's flamethrowers, getting like napalm. Well, with napalm, napalm reminds you, like dragon's breath, and I'm playing a dragon in the small campaign, so
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that was my road back, but now I don't need it because we brought the Borg up. And an interesting thing about the Borg, they assimilate everything, right? All
it's
the
kind of like
cultures.
Hasbro.
Well, yeah, it's not just that, but then you've got artificial intelligence and things like. Now I could go a whole different way here, but we're not doing Metal and Madness right now. We're doing GPR.
Well, let's talk about this.
But
along the lines of AI, and
you're
all
getting
that
ready to
stuff.
go exactly where I was headed. I was going to tell you about Uber.
No.
Okay.
I want to save that for a minute.
Okay.
Talking about technology,
Right.
heading in that direction. We'll bring this up first, and then we'll go into the AI and
How Uber will kill you if you ain't careful.
Yeah. CEO of Starbucks just said something that makes me scratch my head.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. Starbucks being the evil empire, one of many.
It says, the headline is, Starbucks CEO says company is a rare exception among struggling brick-and-mortar retail stores torpedoed by tech. My question is this.
What are you putting in your coffee if technology is taking over coffee?
Right. Like, you are a coffee shop.
With
Is
Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi.
Is Amazon selling coffee? You can go have it delivered to your house and
By a drone. That'd be awesome.
well, hey, there's our tech idea. That's how we can push Starbucks out.
Yeah.
We'll do 5-minute coffee deliveries and test markets only. Test markets being whatever we can either put a drone to or I can deliver it to you.
I was gonna say it's gonna be like me hollering down the stairs. Hey, bring me up a cup of coffee.
Apparently,
It comes up on a drone. I'm like, hey, it's a high tech dumbwaiter, is what it is.
But no, seriously, how would Amazon, with his online shopping, or Walmart online, or any of the online tech stuff, affect a coffee shop? Other than I can order coffee, gourmet coffee to my house, and grind the thing and put it in my little coffee pot and wait until it percolates, and it doesn't percolate anymore. Unless you have one of those.
The good coffee, it does.
Yeah, unless you have a percolator.
Yeah.
And do all that stuff, that hipster stuff, to make a
Don't call it hipster stuff. We were doing that stuff way before them. Okay, you're gonna have to edit and post again.
You totally went hipster on that.
You went. Oh god. You can't tell me what I can't say during the break and then drop a damn grenade in my lap like that. All right.
No, that's just like how you said I was doing that way before anybody else thought it was cool.
No, I mean it's not a thing about cool. It's because that's the way that we used to make coffee, and that's the way that it tastes the best. And just because the
it's all.
So
Uber,
Uber.
I'll be honest with you.
So Uber,
I can't drink coffee anymore. But
you can. You just make it and you just drink it.
Yeah, and then immediately have anxiety attack from.
Are you allergic to coffee beans?
No, it's a matter of the caffeine. I can't do caffeine.
I have a little bottle in the room in there with a dropper in it, and then that'll take care of the anxiety real quick.
No, I just can't do caffeine. I haven't drank sodas since 2010 because every time I would drink, I would immediately have issues.
Because you got soda in your rum system.
Right, now I just need rum in it, and that's it. Just rum in general, and then I'll be happy. But no, my question is why would...
And you're afraid of my whiskey.
Why? Yes, I am.
You ought to be, because it is kicking my...
Why would Starbucks, of all places, have anything to say about, the tech center? When it's somebody, somebody who's I don't want to make all this stuff. I can either go to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, for example, in that town that's right over next door to us. Like, those are my two places to get on-the-go coffee.
Where's there a Dunkin' Donuts at in Anderson?
It was right there next to the tattoo shop.
Okay, if you're talking about like 13th Street.
No, it was on
Or
Scatterfield.
Oh, okay, I don't know about that one.
It might not be there. It might have just moved into a regular donut
I think
shop.
they're all gone. I mean,
but you know,
they didn't have good coffee anyway.
but literally,
I know there's some people out there that thought that was the best coffee ever. I was like,
well, I mean, so much so that they packaged their beans and said, "Here, you know, have Dunkin' Donuts coffee."
man, I tell you what, when I was working at the call center, a guy, well, it was a son of a dude that I used to work with when I was working at Walmart, because that's how old I am. Tell me that ain't depressing. He brought in, it was called Death Wish coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And he brewed some of that, and I drank some of that along with, there was some kind of creamer he had that was like 3 times.
Even more?
Yeah. And I about gave myself a coronary. I mean, I was ramped up, shaking, and like,
you're like, what's this good stuff done?
I've had like the high multiplication of the Jolt Cola. You know, you used to be able to get Jolt times like whatever it was, infinity.
Yeah.
And this stuff, I was like, this is the opposite of what coffee is supposed to do. I mean, I'm like a meth addict,
Like,
just tweaking.
be like my wife when she got like overdosed with caffeine or something.
Yeah,
We don't
whatever
know.
it was.
She's like running around going, "Let's do it right now!" We're like running from spot to spot. She's like, "Let's do it! I have so much energy."
It seems like you had a missed opportunity there.
Like, clean the house. Come on.
It wouldn't have been where I'd have went with it, but you know, hey, whatever works, I guess.
For those of you who are like, "Oh yeah, he just said woman clean the house," yada yada yada. I am the one that
I'll
cleans
say
the
it.
house.
I don't care.
I'm the one that cleans the house. I do. We all split the stuff, but when it comes to picking up after people, it tends to be me because I'm at home all the time.
Right.
So I do all that stuff. So using her newfound energy to make my job a little bit easier, I'm completely fine with. But and now for moving from tech, trying to apparently get into our coffee lives.
Maybe it's nanotechnology. Maybe that's what it is. Because how else can you get some of those little patterns they put on top of the coffee? Oh, you know how they make it look like, oh well, here's like a Punisher skull, or here's a flower, or here's
I would try
the Starry Night. They got
Starry Night.
all that shit up there. I'm like, I'm 2 sips and it's going to be gone.
Right.
That's a lot of effort to put into
I'm
something that's going to be the first thing I drink,
I'm
and
a
I'm
fan
probably not going to look at it in the first place.
I'm a fan of the Rum Jacks.
Yeah.
So, an Irish punk band, and their song "Irish Bar" or "Irish Pub" or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, it says, "I'm going to knock you out if you put another Shamrock in my beer." Basically, if you draw a little thing in the foam in my beer, I'm going to punch you in the face. I'm kind of that way with my coffee.
I've never had anybody try to draw anything in my beer. I mean, usually somebody go to act like they're going to put their finger in my beer. You stab them with a fork or whatever you got handy. Hit them with a.
Like, how about this? I'll drink it down to the foam goes away, and you fill it back up.
Yeah.
It will be even.
Yeah.
I'll take care of that. Don't.
Yeah. Just leave it alone.
If you would learn how to pour,
yeah,
it'd have the right amount of head on it, and you wouldn't have to put your finger in it. Anyway, so coming back from
insert Monica Lewinsky reference here. Oh my God, I can't do these live shows, bud. You're going to kill me with these. We're going to have to start. We're going to have to go back to podcast.
Anyway,
just because it takes you 20 minutes to edit out my monologues and rants,
hey, you know what? I like having another live show.
Yeah.
But
I'd say we could do like an hour of hate with me, but you would just edit. It'd just be like, hi, so welcome to and good night, y'all.
Good night.
Yeah, be like a 2-second show.
And That's how I
That's
see
a
things. Like, oh, he didn't say a damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. we've got hours worth of audio that
Needs to be burnt with fire.
needs to be purified by fire.
Skynet will come around and release it all. Speaking of Skynet,
don't jaywalk. Uber will kill you.
now have they said anything else about that other than like outside of the crosswalk she got hit?
She was not walking within the was not walking within the designated crosswalk. That is the only thing that's been said. Here is what I don't understand. This was one of Uber's driverless vehicles, but it had one of the backup drivers behind the wheel. Okay, so there was a human being behind the wheel as a backup driver that should have taken control of the vehicle and avoided the accident. So unless this gal just comes darting out into traffic like at a full sprint, which is possible.
It happens because that's how people.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I can think of.
Not texting anybody.
Or the backup driver was literally asleep at the wheel, because I imagine that's probably the most boring damn job you can have. It's like, let me sit here while the car drives me.
Well, I can catch up on Facebook.
Yeah. So they're not even paying attention doing their job. Then Uber smokes and kills somebody. And she didn't die at the scene. She died at the hospital later, but, score one for Skynet? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sound insensitive or, think because it's not a joking matter.
No.
But it's kind of funny.
My question about this is
because we all seen it coming.
I have a dash cam.
Yeah.
And so I have been victim of somebody running out and I slamming on the brakes. And then they hit the car and fall on the ground. Until I point out, like, hey, the dash cam caught exactly what you did. Then they get up and run away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm dying. Do you think that the person in some realm of, like, I'm going to jump out in front of this car, they're going to slam on the brakes, we'll fake it, and the AI not recognize the fact that that's going to happen, and it just...
Well, are those Ubers? Do those Ubers have markings on the cars saying that they're driverless?
No, I just think they have the Uber sticker.
Okay, because that's another.
And that's something you have to look for. It's not like they have a big sign going Uberless driver.
Was that because that was my other thought? Is it somebody that's trying to stage an accident and get hit but not killed, and they just committed a little too much,
or chose the wrong vehicle,
right? They're like, oh well, I'll jump out in front of this because the driverless portion, won't recognize or whatever, and then the driver will see it. Whoops. What's the definition? What's the difference between committed and involved? Okay, in a ham and eggs breakfast. Ham and eggs breakfast. What's the difference between committed and involved?
I have no idea.
The chicken was involved. The pig was committed. Kind of what we're looking at here, if that makes any sense to you. Regardless, you cook it all with fire.
Well, there is that. Guess what? After all of that consternation and a 5-minute break, it is time to go.
Already?
Yeah.
Man, I haven't even talked about Democrats or Zuckerberg, or I haven't really gone off on a good millennial rant lately, I haven't complained about one snowflake yet. And it snowed last night, so, right. I've been holding it back.
There was plenty of snowflakes.
Yeah.
In March.
Yeah.
In the middle of March.
Well, usually here we usually get our big snow, like the largest snow at the end of the year, usually comes around President's Day. So we're running about a month late.
Yeah, March or April.
Well, the real big one, because we usually go throughout the winter, we'll get some snow, but like our big dumping on happens right around President's Day, which is usually around my birthday. But so we're running about a month behind. I think last night was probably the most snow I think I've seen all winter.
Yeah, and it wasn't very much. It's already gone.
Yeah, and it's gone. Yeah, there's a little bit left on the van. That's it.
Not anymore.
Probably not. I mean, I can go outside without a jacket in the smoke, so.
I mean, right now it's almost 50 degrees out.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. It's like 45 degrees right now where we're at.
Everybody flipped out and went out, and, the salt trucks were out the other day. They salted everything between here and Muncie and all the towns that
I will tell you this. They did not do a good job down 332. The road that nobody wants to claim.
That is funny because, like, I come down Bethel, coming back the other day when I had court, and you could see the lines from where they'd been out with the brine solution salt spraying. You got the little lines down the road, and you could see it. So they even hit Bethel.
Yeah, well, like I said, 8 o'clock this morning, got picked up, headed out to go get a cable modem for a buddy of ours, and the road, a dually driving straight down the road was kind of sliding back and forth.
And that's because he's got 2 extra wheels on that truck. I just think I need to teach him how to drive it. I think I really do. I think I need to teach him how to drive it. And I hope he's listening because he'll blow my phone up here in a minute. He'll be like, "You teach me how to drive what?" I'm like, "I'll teach you. You get 2 extra tires. It'll be okay. I'll hold a class.
It'll be all right."
Yeah.
Honestly, seriously, like you can do what you want to.
Bring me a step ladder so I can get up in that damn thing, and I'll show you how to drive it.
What I think is funny is like you were looking at my Tahoe going.
Well, I had with the back trouble I was having. I was looking at 2 different ways that I could get into it, and the one way that I thought I was gonna have to do it, I wound up not having to do, and that was the one I was like, oh God, I'm not gonna be able to do this. So you just back up the Nerf bars. Like, okay, well I can do this just carefully.
And now you get in and out like a champ.
Yeah, I mean,
you still have to do the you lean forward and brace yourself when there looks like
still got some issues, but the pain and everything, it is improving. But that's through a variety of medications.
And some experimental.
Yeah.
So but it is what it is, and we're rocking out and having a good time. You're now in studio.
Yeah. I'm literally like 2 doors down.
And all I have to do is train you on how to use the rest of this equipment, and I can go off and do other things.
Yeah, I don't think people really want to hear me for days or hours at a time. But God, it's that guy again, Jesus.
Oh, great.
Better to do. I mean,
what are you gonna do, man?
At least I ain't got to look at him.
Speaking of which, your mug will be on screen here shortly with the Metal and Madness, the road show. Oh
yeah. We're gonna give that a shot and see what shakes out on it.
But it's after 7. We'll turn you to 70s at 7 right here on Geek Public Radio. We're out of here till next week. Have a great time. Same bat channel. We're out.
Good night.